Hello, welcome to Triple Threat. I am Iman Abraham, your host, and today we have a very special guest, Milana Dodge here, which is the general manager at Herman Park Golf Course. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me
Good.
today.
Of course. I'm super happy to have you here. And I am really excited because not only has she have a great extensive career in the game of golf, but she also is continuing to grow the game by creating her own foundation called Journey Through 18, and it's to help golfers, not any golfers, but minority golfers and junior golfers, help grow them and introduce them to the game. So we're going to show a quick clip of what Journey Through 18 is about.
Hi, my name is Milana Dodge. I am the founder of Journey Through 18. Growing up playing junior golf, I always felt like I was alone. I didn't have any friends or other girls that looked like me that played junior golf. This is the reason I created Journey Through 18. I wanted to create a space or a community for younger black girls or other minority girls to come and learn the game of golf together, to develop friendships, and just help them grow into the young women that they can be.
Journey Through 18 provides year-round golf instruction through LPGA, USGA Girls Golf right here in Houston at Herman Park Golf Course. We provide golf course access such as playdays and junior golf tournaments. Journey Through 18 offers life skill development in communication, problem solving, self-confidence, adaptability, integrity, work ethic, and leadership. Lastly, mentorship is one of the final benefits of membership, which provides relationships that empower, advise, and support girls as they grow and develop.
Hi, my name is McKinley Fields. I'm 10 years old and I've been playing golf since I was 3 years old. Playing with Coach Milana has helped me with my swing and a positive attitude.
Hi, my name is Reagan Fields. I'm 14 years old and I've been playing golf for 7 years. Playing the game of golf has helped me stay positive even when things don't go right.
To become a member, head to our website, journeythrough18.com. We would love for you to be a part of Journey Through 18, where we support girls on and off the golf course.
We didn't expect this, season we had, but we're here now. I'm gonna make some noise.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that clip, and we're going to go ahead and get into more on what Milana has done. So, where did this game start with you?
So I started playing golf as a young girl, 11 years old. My dad played golf. He was a weekend golfer, and so he started teaching my brothers and I how to play.
Right.
So started playing, did not like the sport at all. But my dad was determined. He's like, no, you're going to play golf.
Right.
So he had a vision. I guess he saw something that I had no idea about. But I started playing, made it into high school, played junior golf, high school golf, played well enough to earn a scholarship to college, and then just kind of moved along that way.
Right. And what was your collegiate experience playing?
So I played at Bethune-Cookman University,
Yes.
HBCU as well. It's very eye-opening, you know, when you play a sport at each level and you get to the top of that level and you're good, and then when you go to that next level, you realize everybody is good. So you have to work harder, you know, as you get to each level. But my college experience was good. Learned a lot about myself and what it takes to be a better golfer, to be a good golfer, to be able to compete in the sport. And then the team golf, those experiences with your teammates, your highs and lows, you know, getting along with your teammates.
Yeah.
So it teaches you a lot about yourself. I had a good experience though, had a good college golf career, graduated, won the National Minority Collegiate Championship my senior year. Our team won a championship each year. So I had a pretty good experience.
Yes. And looking back now and thinking about your collegiate experience and growing up playing the game, did you think there's anything that you wish you knew going into college?
Oh yeah, who doesn't? It's just so much about golf in general that I had no clue about. You know, all I knew was what my dad told me and what he knew. I think being exposed to the game younger and those experiences will help you. You know, trying to play college golf or college any sport. You know, and so having that awareness at an early age, kind of understanding the work that it takes, the dedication, and what's expected of you, and what you want for yourself. I think learning that or having that awareness, having parents or the support system around you will make that career in college that much more successful.
Right. And you had a very good, successful career collegiately. What made you want to make that decision to take it to the next level, to take it to professional golf?
So by the time I got to high school, going into college, I was sold. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And so I started studying the game, trying to figure out what it took to play professionally. After college, when I graduated, I started playing on the semester tour for a few years. And so by that time I was all in, you know, and I realized just how hard it is to be successful professionally at a sport.
Yeah.
What you thought you knew or what you thought you did or needed to do, elevated.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely, you learn a lot about yourself, for
Yeah.
sure. You know, is this something I can do, something I want to do? And the support team helps. You know, my confidence kind of shook a little bit there because I thought I was good, which I was, but just making it to that level where you're able to compete and be the player that you need to be successful, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
And it just takes a lot. You have to have it in you for sure.
Yeah.
And some people do, you know, and then you got to have the support. You know, you got to have the financial support, you know, the mental support, the physical support, the coaches, you know, the access. That's a lot that goes into that.
It takes a whole team, really.
Yeah, you got to have a team.
And when you were playing what was your practice routine collegiately compared to professional? Like, what do you think was the main difference?
So collegiately, you know, you go to classes during the day, and then you practice in the evening, practice on the weekends. Well, when you turn a professional, you're practicing every day.
Wow.
All day, every day. That's your job.
Right.
You know, so I get up in the morning and I had to make a decision. Am I going to get up and go to the golf course today? Am I going to get up and go practice? You know, am I going to get up and go to the gym? So I had to set a routine of when I get up in the morning, I'm not going to class anymore. I'm done with college. I got to get up in the morning and go to the gym. Or I got to get up in the morning and go play 18 holes and then get done by 12 o'clock and then go practice my putting for an hour, go practice my chipping for an hour, you know, come back home, eat dinner, and then go to the gym, you know, that night. So, I mean, that's your job.
Yeah.
And so it took a moment for me, a little bit for me to realize that I got to put in 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, just like if I was on a job, because that's my career now. This is what I want to do. And so that is eye-opening in the fact that, you know, how can I practice or work 8 to 10 hours a day, but that's what it takes to be successful.
Yeah, and I'm sure it takes a lot, but it's also probably draining because it takes so much time out of your life. How did you find a balance?
So you have to realize what's important, understand what's important to you. And I wanted to play, I did. And at that time, thinking back as a 21-year-old, you know, 22-year-old, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. But at the same time, I wanted to have a life, you know. I wanted to hang out with my friends. I wanted to do stuff. And so trying to figure out what's important, you know. Like, I know I got to get up in the morning and go to the golf course, so no, I can't go out, you know, the night before.
Right.
Or I can't go out, hang out this weekend or go out of town for the weekend because I have a tournament coming up that I need to prepare for.
Right.
So you have to learn to understand what's important to you and then make that decision, okay, I'm going to sacrifice this for now because I'm pushing towards this goal.
Yeah. And then during that time, like, I'm sure the mental health part of it's draining, traveling so much as well, because you're not just traveling to, you know, within this country, you're traveling outside, you're going multiple places you've never been before. How was that, traveling wise, professionally?
That part is a little stressful. If you don't have the finance to cover it, makes it even more stressful.
Okay.
So that was my story. When I was playing professionally, my parents were covering the bill. You know, we're using credit cards. I'm maxing out cards. My parents are sending me money, you know, and so it's because they're trying to keep me going. And so golf is different. Nothing's guaranteed. You know, you're not signing a contract saying that you're going to play for this year. Yeah, you know, you got to go out there and shoot a score and earn a check.
Right.
And so if you don't shoot that score, you don't earn a check. And so that weighs a lot on you. At the time, you know, just figuring out, okay, where am I going to stay? You know, when I go to this city for this tournament, you know, I got to get a hotel, I got to get a car, you know, I got to travel. So when I would go to different cities to play, I would stay with family. You know, if somebody knew somebody in that city, I would stay with them.
Yeah.
If not, I get a hotel room. There were times I went by myself because my parents couldn't afford to go.
Yeah.
So all of that weighs on you, you know. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, am I going to play well enough questions that I asked myself then, I know now. I shouldn't have been talking to myself like that. But you just don't know. You know, I'm 21, 22, traveling, trying to play in tournaments. I don't have a mental health. I don't have a psychologist or, a mental coach. You know, I'm on my own trying to grind and do it.
Yeah.
So there's tons of things that I know now that if I did it all over again, of course, it'd be completely different.
Yeah.
And so the experiences that I have now, that's what I'm trying to give and share, with other girls that are trying to take that same path.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people don't know not only just about a whole lot about the game of golf, but also just what financially it takes, because it takes a lot. It's not a cheap sport.
It's not a cheap sport
it's not
at
like
all.
basketball where you can just
and
go
you have to
play.
pay for everything. You have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have like an idea of like a rundown of like what it costs for you to play in a tournament?
So if I'm going to say, I don't know, Louisiana, for example, to play in a tournament.
Yeah.
I have to get there.
Okay.
So it's a plane ticket,
right, travel.
or travel, or gas in a car, rent a car to get there, drive my car. Got to stay somewhere,
Right.
so hotel.
Okay.
And tournaments are 4-day events, so you're there for 4 days. So you got your practice round before that, so that's 5 days
Yeah.
in a hotel. Then I have to pay for that practice round. I have to pay to play in the tournament. I have to eat while I'm there.
Wow.
If I need to practice and hit balls, which I need to do all 5 days, I have to pay for that as well. So that can run you anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 in a simple tournament.
Right.
Entry fees are run anywhere from $500 to $1,000 just to play in a tournament.
Right.
And then, of course, hotel, car, gas, food, practice rounds. So you can easily, I was averaging, and this was years ago, so about to date myself, but 20-some years ago, $1,500 to $2,000 is about every tournament, is what it was costing me to go to every tournament.
Okay. And then basically that's how much you have to pay to get in, and then to make the cut, if you don't, you're out $2,000.
Yep.
So
basically. You go, I register for this tournament, I get in, and then another thing before even there, you have to qualify.
Yeah.
So you have to play to be able to get on the tour to play in these tournaments. So I qualified.
Yeah.
And so once you get into the tournament, it's a 4-day tournament.
Wow.
They make the cut after 2 days. So if you don't shoot well enough, or if you're not in the top after the second day, you're done. You go home.
Yeah.
So that $800 you just paid for that entry fee is over. It's done.
Yeah. And how does that feel, like missing the cut? Have you ever missed the cut?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So how?
Oh, yes.
How does that feel?
It's defeating. Like you just. So you have a range of emotion. You're excited. I made it. I'm on the tour. I get to play in these tournaments. So you get your schedule for the year. I'm going to play here, 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 here.
Right.
So you pick 7 or 8 tournaments for the year. And you go into this tournament. You think you're playing well. You can have one bad day, and you're done.
Wow.
And so you're either upset because you had that bad day, that just killed your opportunity to make the cut.
Yeah.
Upset, frustrated, sad, just a range of emotions. Because now I got to go do it all over again. And if I'm playing in a tournament once a month or every 3 weeks, I got to go back home and work on what didn't work well for me for this event to get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
And so it's draining. It really is. It's tough. It's not as easy as you think. And you think you're good, and then you get to another level, and you see all of these girls are good.
Yeah.
And it's,
It must be challenging too, knowing that there's not like a whole lot of people that look like you playing on this field either.
No, that's part of it too.
Yeah.
There's not.
Yeah.
There's more now in like Symmetra Tour and the different tours, because there's a lot more tours you can play on.
Yeah.
Back then there wasn't.
Yeah.
And so there was a couple of us that played, and when we saw each other, we were like, hi, somebody that looks like me, because you don't see that.
Yeah.
I would go to tournaments and I'd be the only black girl there.
It's probably feel very alone at times.
You do.
And
you do.
Already
Golf
on top
is
of
tough,
all the other stress.
Yeah, golf is tough. It's a solo sport. You play by yourself. You practice by yourself.
Yeah.
You are your own score. Whatever your score is, that's based on you.
Yeah.
And one thing you do notice about being on tour, the girls have friends they travel with.
Yeah.
They bunk together. They get hotel rooms. They kind of travel together. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so I'm by myself, literally.
Yeah.
For every event.
That is a challenging thing to go through.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking more with Milana about her experience within the game and also her experience growing the game. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Triple Threat. I am Iman Abraham, and we are here with Milana Dodge, and we were just talking about what it takes to be a professional golfer and her experience being a professional golfer. And speaking of that, being a professional golfer, what made you want to make the transition into another area of the game?
Yeah, so after my experience trying to play wasn't successful as I hoped it would be, I had to figure out what I wanted to do next, literally, you know. So graduate from college, golf was my focus. And so when that didn't work out, I had to sit down and figure out what do I want to do. And so that's when I realized that there's other careers in the game of golf.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, had no clue growing up. I mean, honestly, I didn't.
Yeah.
All I knew was playing the sport. And so that's when I realized that there are so many other jobs in the game of golf. And so I went to the golf course to practice one day, and the assistant golf pro said, "Why don't you come work here?" You know, and I was like, I don't know. You know, he's like, "Yeah, you could become a PGA member, be a golf pro," and I was like, "Oh." And then that's when I learned the difference between a touring professional and a golf professional.
Yeah.
Professional golfer. And so I was like, okay. So I started working at the golf course and learned the business side of it.
Right.
And so then that just completely opened up doors to me understanding the industry in golf and how you don't have to just play the game to be in the sport.
Right.
And so I just kind of worked my way through. I became an assistant golf pro, then became a head golf professional, then became a GM. I was a teaching pro, so I kind of did a lot of jobs in this particular space. So I'm in golf operations.
Right.
And so that's the space that I'm in the golf industry. But there's tons of other careers and opportunities in the industry as well.
Right, and I think that's very important to talk about that because I feel like most athletes just, when you're playing, you just think about playing. You're not really thinking about, oh, what else can I do within this sport besides coaching or playing? And there's so much more that you can do. Like you are now the head pro and the first black general manager in Houston at a golf course. In America, excuse me, in America. Okay, don't play with her. No, but literally that's so crazy. And then you're the second black woman PGA member behind Renee Powell, and which is also your mentor.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was a great thing to experience. So what made you want to take that path to be a PGA member?
So didn't know much about, like I said before, but when I started working at the course, the guy that kind of got me in the job, Ira. Used to be it's a full circle how things happen, but he was an assistant pro, got me working at the course he was working at, and then he moved on, and I just kind of worked my way up through at that course, and worked under who was a black golf PGA pro at the time, Leonard Jones in Dallas. Yeah. And so he was my golf pro when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So full circle, ended up working for him. And so just learned the business. So basically, before I became a PGA member, I just learned the business, how to manage a golf course, how the operations work, how do you put on a tournament, how do you manage food and beverage. So that I learned first.
Right.
Then they were like, well, you should become a PGA member. And I'm like, what is that? So then I started learning about the PGA, what the PGA stands for and what it does and how it grows the game of golf. And I was like, okay. Got my PGA membership and then found out that I was only the second black woman to ever get PGA membership.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So I'm like, this is just becoming more and more interesting.
Yeah.
So once I got that membership, then I understood or I saw things a little differently.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this puts me in a position now to really open doors, to be not in front, but to be seen to tell my story so other black girls know, hey, they might be in golf, that if they don't play, there's other things they can do and still be in the game.
Right.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was going through this blind. I'm literally walking blindly through this, not understanding or not seeing the opportunities that's there and what, I can do. But becoming a PGA member really kind of opened my eyes to that because then I started seeing where there's lack, and trying to figure out what can I do on my end to help increase the numbers, to help bring the awareness, to provide access, to just bring more girls into the game.
Yeah, and I think that's very important because like I said, I think there's a lot of athletes that just don't know, and the girls, I grew up kind of similar to your experience. I felt very alone. I didn't know a whole lot about the game of golf.
Yeah.
And I think it's great what you're doing with Journey Through 18 because I wish I kind of had something like that growing up. I wish there was an organization where I could play with other golfers that look like me, and I probably wouldn't have quit so many times.
And that's important. And that's the main reason behind Journey Through 18 because it was just me.
Yeah.
And I felt that, I know what that's like. And so when I see other little black girls at the courses or different places, I'm like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
because you need friends. And so I'm not trying to become your golf coach, you know, or take you from your coach or whoever you would. I just want you to have a community. I
Yeah.
want you to meet some other girls that look like you, that play the game, that you can go practice with, you can play with, y'all can travel together, you know, you can grow up with. So
Yeah.
when you become 25, you know, you play junior golf, we play junior golf together, you know, and you just network, you have that connection, that relationship with somebody that can be in a completely different field from you, but y'all have that connection through golf.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, because when you have those connections with other people, you have someone to talk to. So you have like when it is time to go to play collegiate golf or play professionally, be like, hey, I'm going to this school or this, that, and I think that's very important.
You have somebody you can share experiences with, support, you know.
Yes.
You have a bad day, and she'll be like, oh, it's okay, you know, and y'all can talk about it. You know,
Right.
you have somebody that you can relate to.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's important.
So, when did this idea pop in your head to create Journey Through 18?
So it's kind of been there for a long time, but you get so wrapped up in work, you know. Before I moved to Houston, it's been there. I did girls golf in Dallas,
Right.
and so it was really like, okay, I got to do something with girls. I just it was always in me. I got to do something with girls.
Right.
And so when I moved to Houston, to Herman, I got this position. I was like, this is the perfect time.
Yeah.
I have the access, the ability. I'm managing a facility that I can open up to bring as many girls as possible. We can do activities. We can do golf. Like this, I mean, why not?
Right.
And so when I came up with the name, and I was like, this is perfect, Journey Through 18. You know,
Yep.
we can support girls till they're not till they're 18, but through the age of 18, on the golf course and off the golf course.
Right.
And then bring them back after they graduate to come help with the younger girls.
Right.
You know, let the younger girls see the older girls that came through the program.
Right.
And so I think it's the perfect tie in to keep in that circle.
Right. And going through Journey Through 18, what services do you like to provide for junior golfers that are trying to get involved?
So we do girls golf. So the girls get to come and we go over golf, everything golf related. You know, they learn how to putt, chip, full swing, getting their skills, you know, their etiquette, rules. We meet once a month, just strictly golf.
Right.
Then we meet again to have on-course time. So the second time we meet, we take them on the golf course where they get that experience to play golf. So golf is the foundation. They're going to know how to play golf once they get through the program. Along with that, I try to provide, I'm providing skill building opportunities, leadership opportunities, social activities, just things for the girls to help them create that bond. So yeah, they see each other when they come play golf, but we have a leadership academy, you know, where they're able to come and it's a full day of activities where they're learning about leadership and empowerment and exercise, you know, just different things. We're doing a etiquette class where the girls are learning proper etiquette when they go out to eat to a restaurant. If they go to a banquet, they'll know which fork to grab, you know, they'll know how to sit, which class is theirs, things like that. A financial literacy class. Going to go to the Astro games, you know, so it's just different things that the girls can do to help build those relationships, build those bonds, and then go play golf.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have that growing up. So I'm the only girl, I have 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And so I never had sisters, you know, and so I always wanted to have that feeling that I have other girls around that have the same interests as I do.
Yeah.
And so that's the community that I'm trying to create.
I think that's important. And I like how you talked about the etiquette as well, because golf is very much a different sport.
Yeah.
Can be low classes sometimes to where it's favorited towards the higher brackets financially. So I like that you include that because I think it's important. A lot of people don't know that a lot of stuff, if you're not from a more fortunate position, you don't know about the forks and the etiquette and things of that nature because you just weren't grown up that way.
Yeah, and golf is a different sport, you know. Like they always say, you can learn a lot about a person when they play golf, you know. Your discipline, how you control yourself, how you carry yourself, your mannerisms, your etiquette on the golf course, you know. So a lot of that you have to know to play the game, and it feeds over into other parts of your life as well. And so that's just one part of it, you know. I took an etiquette class and it stuck with me, you know, and I felt like I needed that, you know, and like you say, most girls have no idea, you know, unless their parents are teaching them and stuff, but it's a fun way to get them around the table dressed up and just learn, you know.
Yeah, it's very fun. And you have done so much with Journey Through 18, and I love that it's growing, but you've also helped within the community as well. You've helped me personally by giving me a position at Herman Park Golf Course as well as helping TSU as well, me and Manesi, you were able to help us and be kind of our mentor. And I think that's great that you continue to give back and continue to reach out to not just other junior golfers, but connecting with HBCUs in the area as well.
Yeah, and I think that's important. And so the position I'm in now, I feel like there's a ton of responsibility that I have. I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but it's some things I feel like I need to be doing, you know. And so I need to make sure that the staff I hire, the interns I bring in, the relationships I build are intentional, you know, because like there's not many other golf courses around that has a black woman that's managing it. And so if I'm there, I need to make sure I have the proper connections and impact that's going to leave a positive impression.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's amazing, and I can't wait to see what Dream Through 18 continues to do. And your work has inspired, I feel like, a lot of people, and especially myself. I mean, this woman is amazing. I can't even lie. So to be able to have you here, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see the work that you continue to do as well.
And I'm saying with you,
Oh.
I am. I'm looking forward to see what you do down the line. And you know you can call me anytime you need.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I just want to thank you guys all for tuning in. It has been an amazing episode here with Milana Dodge, an amazing woman in the game of golf. And please continue to watch out for her and her work and her foundation, Journey Through 18. And if there are any junior girls out there watching, please keep going. Please keep working at it. You're not the only one, I promise. And if you are in the Houston area, go to journeythrough18.com and go ahead and join, because it's a great environment, great place to learn the game of golf. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Iman Abraham, your host, with Milana Dodge. And thank you guys all for watching Triple Threat. Make sure to tune in next week for more.